Hey guys, Ryan Dossey, and in today's video, I'm going to show you finally how to skip trace an LLC. Skip tracing is looking for contact information for an individual, and historically, LLCs have just been sorry, there's nothing you can do with them, but Deal Machine just changed that. Let's check it out. I've said in a few videos earlier this year that Deal Machine's really the only data provider that I'm impressed with that I think is doing anything neat or cool or inventive. They added in earlier like free unlimited skip tracing. They've got an AI dialer that's super sweet and not very gimmicky. And now they've added in Open Corporates data. If you're not familiar with what opencorporates.com is, it's like the largest database of companies on a global level and who owns those entities. Now, a couple of years ago, I actually shared with you guys like one of my hacks where I'm looking at corporate owned properties and I'm mailing the registered agent for like a smaller company that's going to be the owner of that company typically at their house versus like the name of that LLC to like their PO box, right? It's basically where did they tell the government, here's who set this up and here's, where to find me or where to send me things. Now, I've typically mailed that data, and it's been a really good way to find both buyers and sellers at the same time. But a long requested thing from people has been, how do I skip trace these LLC-owned properties? And Deal Machine has literally opened up like an entire new niche in the real estate space. Now, currently, it's really good for finding like names and phone numbers. There's not a super clean way though to export out the addresses to mail it like I've historically done. So that is a feature request that I put in with Deal Machine, but let me hop in and show you this. So here we are inside of my Deal Machine account, and I'm gonna just do this simple search. So I'm in the zip code 46218. And for the sake of this example, all I have pulled up here is properties that are corporate owned. So what Deal Machine has gone and done, I'm going to click on this first one to show you that it actually doesn't work because I've looked at this. This is typically how it's looked, right? This is the name of the LLC. There's no contact info or anything for that. One thing to note, we do have to blur out quite a bit. So if it's an address or if it's a phone number or email, YouTube before has taken down videos of ours for doxing. So we have to blur that out in order to put up these kinds of videos for you guys. If I click on this second one though, I can see it's owned by AWESI Investments. And if I click on that, it'll pull up who the agent, president, and anybody else tied to that is. So it looks like a gentleman named Robert McCurdy is behind this entity. Now, I do want to double check this. I don't just want to say, hey, Deal Machine has great data, go use it. Like, let's trust but verify. So if I go to the Indiana LLC search portal, let's see here, this guy, and I go to business name search. I'm going to take this right here and I'm going to throw it in the Indiana LLC search database and see what we get. So if we look at this particular LLC here, we have that it looks like it's registered to this individual at this property here on Lyndhurst. We also have who the president and controller of it is. So we have multiple addresses that we can now also try to market to. In the past, all we would have had is, okay, this is owned by this company and this is the address that they gave for like tax billing. Whereas now we have, hey, the individual behind it, and I can click the button right here to see his phone numbers or his emails. I've got to blur more here, but if I click on it, I can see even his age, month he was born, his personal mailing address, how long he's lived there, all the way down to like where he lived before and if he owns a pet. Like Deal Machine's data here is getting a little wild. Now, I don't want you to think that this is going to be perfectly accurate, but this is much more accurate and much deeper down the ownership pipeline than we've ever been able to get. Deal Machine claims that they can go 5 entities deep. So if one entity is owned by another entity, owned by another, owned by another, owned by an individual, they should be able to crack that chain, which is just wild. Let's check 2 more. So I'm going to click on this guy here, and we have another one that they do have LLC data for. You'll know because it'll look like this. If we click on this guy here, we can see this guy is the president, and it looks like this person is the manager. So let's check this one, 317 Realty Group, Fun fact, this didn't used to have this on there, but I was running a lot of searches and I might be why that's on there now. All right, so we've got this one here that appears that this guy is the president of it. We've got a mailing address for that, and this other individual, Giovanni, we have an address for as well, is tagged as the manager. Looks like tagged as manager, tagged as president. So it doesn't look like they have phone number information on him, but they do on her. I guess that could be him. I don't know what gender Giovanni is. But, you know, so we have at least a phone number that we could try or other addresses that we could try versus just, hey, this is owned by that. So far it's matching what we're seeing on the Indiana LLC search site, which that's great. All right, check in one more. That's cool. It's listed by, it looks like this person, and there's their phone number. It's cool. Easy way to reach out to the agent. Deal Machine's dialer is like a VoIP deal, so you can do it all through your computer, which is super neat. Okay, so if I click on this one, taco, that's hilarious. I wonder if that's supposed to be like a pun, like a play on words. All right, if I look up this guy and search. This one, okay, cool. This is actually a really good example. I'm glad we stumbled on this. So this one is set up by a registered agent. Registered agents can be, it is a way to protect the anonymity. Deal Machine actually calls that out too. So a registered agent is an individual or business designed to receive official paper or legal documents on behalf of the entity. So this particular person does want their privacy, whoever owns Taco LLC, and they don't have their name on this. They paid a third party to set it up and get their paperwork for them. It's the same way like Wyoming and Delaware LLCs work. So in this instance, Deal Machine data really wouldn't be helpful. We could try to call or email this person, but chances are they're not going to tell you anything because they're literally paid to keep their mouth shut. There's a number of reasons you would do this, from everything from like asset protection to anonymity. Back when Disney was buying up all the properties around Orlando, they used trusts, so you couldn't tell that it was one person buying everything, kind of provide that like anonymity, so they're able to gobble everything up. So you can do the same thing with registered agents. So that is how you can skip trace and call LLC owned or email LLC owned properties right now through Deal Machine. Goes without saying, but we always honor the do not call list. So if somebody, I don't care if they have the phone number or not, if somebody's on the do not call list, we simply don't call them. That's how this works. I've checked some of my own LLCs, and this pulls up my staff and their personal cell phone numbers. So very, very impressed with kind of this new addition to Deal Machine. We do have an affiliate code for Deal Machine that'll get you a free 7-day trial. It's just dealmachine.com/Ryan. Feel free to use that if you want to support the channel and check out the tool. If you don't want to support the channel, totally fine. Deal Machine is a tool that I'm personally actively paying for to generate real results in my own business, like actual deals every single month. Thank you guys for taking the time to hang out with me. Again, my name is Ryan Dossey. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Talk to you next time.